Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Aurogiri. And it has been a while since I've said that, but it is also not with a happy intent for me to be saying it today. So in case you haven't heard, or if you have heard, news came out midweek ago, a couple days ago, holy comments my boys, that the EU PS4 and Xbox servers are going to be closing down. Now, and Cyrus has come up with an official message, and they said that, and if I were to be appropriate, I should actually look it up and read it to you guys. So, Onigiri PS4 EU. Let's look that up. Click on that. Oh no, it's on Twitter. No, go back. I typed it up and I saw, like, you ever do that? You like look at a link and it's like, oh no, there's a better link right underneath. In this case, that was not the better link. It's in the comments on Twitter. Alright, so a lot of you guys here. Glad to see you. Okay, wow. It takes me to the post of like them being officially open. News. Let me click on news. There's like nothing. Where do I find this information? I'm so sad. Hello. Doing a stream. But hello everybody. So, I can't find the post right now, but you are right. There is no refunds. So they clearly stated that. They said that in Europe they're closing down PS4 and Xbox, and they specifically stated that there's going to be no refunds for OC. If you have any pending OC, you bought it in the past, whatever it is, it's gone. You're not getting nothing back, and it's a big shame. Don't laugh. My cousin's here and he's laughing, so we can throw things at him later. So Infinite's asking if he can transfer an account to PC. That is not possible. There's no way to transfer accounts. The Switch and Steam are cross-play to some extent, but there's no way to take an account from one place to another. So the people that play on PS4 in Europe, on Xbox in Europe, they would either have to play, or they would have to like make a new account and either play on PC or play on over here on the PS4 server, or they could make the conscious choice never to touch Cyberstep again. But it really comes down to where the blame falls. I need to find the cord that charges my controller. It's actually bugging me. I had it and then I lost it and then I had it again. Where next? I don't know about that. So, if we're next or not, I don't know. But that's a good point. They would still have Steam and PC and Switch as a platform. Well, exactly. You feel bad for anyone who dedicated that much time, that much money, that much, experience into it, right? And this is something that's commonplace for MMOs, I understand. Like, it happens eventually, but it seems too soon, because they only got theirs. And this is why... this is why it's strange, because we've had it longer, and they've had it more recently. They've only had it for maybe 2 years, I want to say, not more than that. They just had like a big update and that was it. But I really think it's not to do with them not making money from the game. Because when I read their post, it didn't really say like, oh, it's not financially stable over there. Like, people don't spend as much money as in the US or Canada or whatever. It seems as though... I want to believe it's because of the EU's policy on loot boxes. Yeah, like because I don't know if you guys heard about like what happens to a lot of what game is that? FIFA, EA games with loot boxes, and how the European Parliament or the EU voted that deeming loot box mechanics illegal, and that also extends to gacha. And they'd already seen it happen in Belgium with Fire Emblem Heroes, which is a game that is fine everywhere else, but it was banned in Belgium because of loot box mechanics and gambling mechanics. And Onigiri certainly does have that. And I know, Kev, that's the joke. That's the meme joke. But yeah, you know, Onigiri is definitely a game that does have its gambling elements. As much, it's a gacha game. It's how it is, and it's worse than others in some degrees. It used to be really good, and now it's like declining. But yeah, I think that's what it has to do with it. Because long ago there was a post that the EU Onigiri team put out, or well, I guess it's the same Onigiri team. But anyway, concerning EU, there's one point in time where they had closed down the server for it, either Xbox or PS4, one of the two. I don't remember exactly. But they were saying that until we can find out some compromise to do with laws or something, that they were going to put the server down temporarily and then put it back up later to see if they could find out a new workable model for it. And I think ultimately they could not. I think they felt that, like, if they put in a different, like, if they would have changed the money-making mechanics of Onigiri over there, so let's say they made it so that every Vanguard scroll was, like, let's say $50 a scroll, like, guaranteed. Well, then people pay $250 a Vanguard every update. Okay, is everyone going to do that? No. But then you have the whales, as we call them, who will spend the 500, the 600, the 700 to get that Vanguard every month, and they make 700 compared to a guaranteed value of 250. And since, like, if gacha games had guaranteed, I pay this for this, like, you get one-time transactions, you don't get gambling transactions, you don't get an anime skin casino. You know, you get like buying singles in Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever, like in a card game. You can either buy a bunch of packs or you can pay a little more and get the cards you want and make the best deck possible. If Onigiri turned into that, well, eventually once you already have Miyamoto, you already have Oda, you already have Lancelot, you already have everything. You don't have to. There's no gambling anymore. You just $250 a month, whatever. It might as well be subscription based. But even that, I bet there's a bunch of, I don't know, a bunch of brouhaha over there being like, well, how come a game's free but you pay more for like a certain part of it than you would a whole other game? And you know, there's so many little angles that could go about it. I really think that the reason that the European, and it's going to be ending in September, by the way, I didn't mention that earlier. They said that the games are going to remain available in the store indefinitely, like in the PlayStation Store. Onigiri is just going to be there. But if you download it, like, you won't be able to connect to a server or anything like that. Like, you'd be able to download it, make a character maybe, but you wouldn't be able to do anything at all. Like, they said they're not even going to take it down from the store. It's just going to be there like a remnant, you know. But we're talking about European Onigiri closing down on consoles. So, you know, I'm not too familiar if there is a European Switch version or not. Or if the Switch version is just the overall universal Switch version. Because there is one on the Switch. But I'm not sure if it's just like North American based or if it's globally based. I don't know. I don't know if there's a specific server based thing for the Switch is global. That makes sense. If the Switch is global, then since it's global, it can't really comply with those laws in that degree. However, Nintendo did close down the Belgium Fire Emblem, so it might be different with app stores because they might be all local, but if it's just on a console, it might be a bit different. So that's hard to say. But yeah, the game does have a lot of potential, and to be honest, the earlier 2-3 years of Onigiri, the first 3, has been focused on so much content and gameplay and all that, but then in the last 2 years it's just been event, little Vanguard, do some stuff, exchange shop, and these events just keep going. You have like 5 of them before you have like a solid content update, and then it goes back to those. And those become more of, hey, it's a new thing, roll in a Vanguard unit with like 5 guys and get nothing, and go on and continue, go on and continue, go on and continue. But that's another angle as well, Rhyme. Maybe they weren't making as much money. That's possible too. The thing is, like, and I mean, we saw this with the Switch version. The Switch version started at Zunko. It starts at Zunko update. No one who's playing the game knows anything about Zunko. They don't know the value they had in front of them, and when they find out what it is from watching me or anything else on the internet, stream, whatever, they find out how good Zunko is. They find out how good, XYZ is, the Zunko skills, whatever. And they find out, oh, that was there at the beginning of the game when I was level 2 and I didn't know my ass from my dick. And like, you don't know your spear from your sword. Like, you're a noob, right? You don't know the value of anything. And you find out, oh, this event's never coming again. You missed out on it, and that's where we started. And it's just like a reverse snowball effect where you're behind indefinitely and you lose something that you're never going to look forward to. Similar to how people that start after knowledge mags see all these other strong people with knowledge mags, like, when can I get knowledge mags? And the game says never. And it's like, oh shit, might as well quit. Like, well, that happens. Like, jokes aside, that's a real thing. It's like seeing power creep from a distant perspective, not understanding it, and when you find out that it was right there and you couldn't take it, it's like, ugh. But when that culture exists and you have players that are interested in the game only to come to find out that they missed out on something, they get disinterested and they don't get invested as much as they would. For all of the OG players, people that started at the beginning of the game, so like the first update, Edo, Oshu, during that time frame, they were in the infancy stage of this game. They got into it before it became majorly Vanguard obsessed and microtransaction ridden, and there was a lot of skill based stuff, farming and effort and time, and not just pay to win mechanics. Those people are the OG gamers for the game. They understand the game to such a fundamental that, like, they'll always be good to some degree. Like, they'll always have their basics in it. They'll always be rooted in the game. They'll come back to it. But the players that come later that don't have that attachment, and they come into it and it's just riddled with transactions and RNG and a lot of BS that we became immune to, they're just going to leave. Like, same phenomenon. You ever download a phone game? It looks cute. There's a bunch of characters on it. You like download one thing, another thing. Like you play a little bit. You play through the free time, and then you play for like an hour, and then like, all right, let's get down to it. And the game's just like microtransactions everywhere. You don't understand anything. You have no attachment to any of these characters. They're throwing in your face, and they want you to buy them. You delete that game. You don't care about it. Like, but Onigiri started before that point, so people do care about it. But for when in Europe people are going to play it, be like, oh, okay, whatever, I'm just going to go play like a better game that just came out or something, and they're not going to come back to it. Well, exactly. If you miss the prime, right? Like, my good friend Suzaku, he said the best thing about Onigiri, he said, this is a new game that's just coming out. It's been on PC for a couple years. It's just coming to console. If I'm going to play an MMO, I want to play one from the start. I want to get everything. I want to have everything. I want to experience everything. And I don't want to feel left out. So when people come in, they might feel left out. Case in point, I'm really just getting to the point where the player base of EU, I don't know them. I know that a bunch of players that played on PS4 that lived over there that wanted to spend OC and all that stuff, they went over to EU. And they went there and they dominated. I knew quite a few of them. And they went over there using the knowledge from playing here or PC or wherever. They went over there, they dominated. They beat everything, they got everything, they knew everything, bang, bang, boom. Done. But even now, I see them coming back to PS4. I've seen a couple of them logging in. I see them, they're 131, they're 130, they're getting Tiamat stuff. They're like, man, EU's not getting updated, PS4 is getting updated, I'm going to go across the pond, I'm going to go play over there. Maybe I'll buy OC and like at a higher cost and play over there because it's better. It's the same thing as like, we don't even like, and Xbox as well. PS4 is just a more popular console. Xbox as a console is like third world console, and PS4 is like modern day. when I went to look, there was only one person on Xbox EU. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's same thing with Xbox. I mean, they don't update Xbox at all. Like, Xbox US, Xbox EU, Xbox JP was like never got past the first update. Like, that was it. But it's really weird because they worked really hard to release the EU one. They put it out, they worked on it. Like, we went a couple months without updates. They're trying to get it up. Like, they were working on it. But so I don't think it's that they weren't making money. I think it might be doing part of it. Like, I think that might be partially true to it, but I really think it's the EU being really anti-gambling, anti-gacha, anti-surprise mechanics in their games, and that's what all the free games are, more or less. Onigiri, you can get through to it free to play by all means, absolutely, but you have to work harder, a lot harder. That's awesome, KMZ. So what happens now? So, like, I can toss out as many theories as I want about EU, why it happened. Is it happening? It is indefinitely happening. However, it was brought to my attention that there is a petition circulating, and this petition came out right away, as soon as this news came out, a petition circulating to try and get the EU servers to remain open. I don't know how good it's going to be. I don't know how, like, awesome it is or what its goals are, its intentions. Its intentions and its goals are basically to try and keep the Onigiri up in the EU, of course. But I don't know how many signatures they need, all that little specific stuff. I just know it's out there, and I'm going to try and direct you guys to it because it was sent to me via Twitter, I believe. And if anyone wants to sign it to try and keep EU afloat, it's greatly appreciated. If not, you know, that's all up to you. I won't judge you. How do I find my own DMs? Let me click on this. So, yeah, that's the more specific part to it. I just read that. It's not that they're trying to keep the EU servers afloat. What they're aiming to do is try and merge the servers, just like how Terra did in recent months. Back in the day, Terra did that. But let me click on the link here, like officially, and let me see. HTTP. 0 have signed. Really? How? Oh, 30 have signed. Okay, 36 have signed. So what they're saying is, wow, there's a typo in it. But Onigiri decided to shut down EU console servers, but they keep JP and US. They even made new servers on Switch when they can't keep EU up. They need to consider a server merge for all people who had worked hard on their characters and for people who have generally paid for OC. So it's a server merge is what they're aiming for. Something else here. Hello, we are deeply sorry for the situation in the EU region version of Onigiri. Truly, if there was a way to continue the service, we would urge the publisher to continue the game. However, due to financial issues with the continuation of the service and server costs, it was deemed unrealistic to continue the service. We hope you for your kind understanding. Onigiri is typoing too. That's really them. If you would like to continue to play Onigiri, we recommend you try the PC, Steam, or even Nintendo Switch version if you can. We apologize for the inconvenience and for the sad news regarding the future of Onigiri in the EU region, but we hope you can find the patience and understanding for the situation. So, that was Cybercep's official response to the petition, I guess, even though it only has 36 signatures, or maybe someone reached out to them. So, based on what they're saying is that EU was a failed investment, or perhaps that it cost too much to host the server over there as opposed to hosting it in North America. Um, Ultimately, I think they're not saying everything. I think there is a lot of political pressure on the game, but it might just be that the game is not sustaining itself over there, and that's completely possible. Maybe they thought that, oh, North American did so good, then we'll open another one and they'll do good there, but it might just not be the case. It might have been released too late. You know, when this game came out 5 years ago, it was 5 years newer. You know, if the game was released now, like as the game was released on Switch, it was buggy and garbage. The game on Switch is garbage. Like, I wouldn't play it. But, you know, like, it's like any game, unless it's like a true masterpiece. If the later you play it, the older it gets, the less appeal it's going to have. Yeah. So Ram says, the only thing about that is we would have to wait for months for an update. Xbox already been waiting 11 months. Yeah. Your promise back in April. Yeah. I really think it's the problem is that they're Onigiri's trying to do like they're trying to have their hands in too many pockets and they can't really do anything. Like when it was just PC and console in North America originally, they did them both fluently and were great up until a certain point for Xbox at least. But PS4 was like paralleling PC and updates, just bang, 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 bang. It was consistent, consistent, consistent. And I don't know if that was just that the PS4 was a better console to be on, was better with its update practices, or if Xbox was just different. Not too much sure. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but yeah, biting off too much they can chew. So maybe, hey, Games at Rambo, how you doing? But maybe it could just be that it could have nothing to do with the political state of the EU, and it could just come down to it just wasn't a good investment. That's a good point. They did merge JP Xbox with normal Xbox, but to be honest, it would be fantastic if they did do a merge, if they brought the EU people over here. The only thing that's weird about it would be the difference in currency, but it didn't seem to bother them for Xbox, so it shouldn't bother them here. Now, albeit the pound is worth more than the US dollar, so the OC would be cheaper for them. But at the same time, if OC is cheaper, for like if someone lives in the UK and let's say OC is 30% cheaper over here, then they're gonna buy more OC because they're gonna feel like they get a discount compared to what they usually pay. You know? Oh damn! You didn't miss too much. Some ogies and whatnot. I think there'd be advantages because if people have to, it's still the same money coming in. You think they also need to make the game more newcomer friendly? Yeah, they do. To be honest, at this point in the game, if they're getting that desperate, they need to give out legendary tickets every month. I play on the US, but it lets me get OC with euros. That's a good deal. Yeah, that's a good deal. Yeah, 65 for 100. Yeah, that's really good. They would buy up all. It'd be like, yeah, it'd be like an American coming to Canada. Like, yeah. Wait, what? Oh, never mind. I thought you said it backwards. Like it was $1,000 for 64. I was like, what? That's wrong. So let me see. Control C. I'm going to try and link the petition into the comments, and then I will post it in the description after. That one, I promise for sure. My channel. Peso exchange? Dang. Control V. Dang it, the link is longer than I can... The link is longer than I can post as a comment. There must be a smaller link. Okay, I know Joshua's counting on me. How do I share? Give me a link. There. Or no, I can't post links in the friggin' chat. Goddamn. That is a shame. Let me see here. I know what to do. Oh, it did post. There it is. Wasn't there Oni shutting down? Yeah, Joe, that's what we're talking about. Just the EU servers, yeah, as he says, just the EU. Control A. What the heck? That's not how Control A works. There, link is now officially in the description. So if you guys want to go join the petition, refresh your page and go to the description, and it's going to have a link to the change.org. Or you can wait till the stream's over and go after if you want. But their support is greatly appreciated. I did already, I signed it. So I'm on there. You'll find Logan. Let me get back here. Back to the stream. It's a shame because I know a lot of people were looking forward to the EU version, because we have a lot of people, like a lot of foreigners that play Onigiri, like on the PS4, like people from Europe, people from Brazil. Although they just, I don't know, but they wouldn't really need the EU server. But case in point, a lot of people play this game from a lot of different places. We have a couple of JP players too, so you know this is the place to play. I think it would be great if they could come over here, server merge, let's go. Not at all paranoia, I did not. Yeah, like Rhyme right there. He lives in Europe, but he plays in the US. There you go. So, I mean, it's as easy as that. Hopefully they could do it. Like, if they could do a server merge just to keep their player base. Like, if people just come over, keep their stuff, and continue. Because, to be honest, there's nothing EU has that we don't have. So they could come right over and just integrate into society, no problem. It's not like problems where, oh, we're going to take, like, people that, like, if PC were to merge with PS4, it wouldn't work. Like, PC play, like, you can't go down in grade, is what I'm trying to say. But they'd be able to, because it would be a direct upgrade, and we would have every item already loaded into our game. But they would miss a couple updates. But ultimately, I would rather miss a couple updates than lose everything. You know what I mean? Like, this is like something people have played, invested for years in. Okay. So I've talked for about half an hour about this, but you guys let me know your comments here. We'll have the audience lead the stream for a little bit and hear your thoughts. So what I'm wondering is, why haven't they thought about the merge? Maybe they can't even do it since I haven't said anything about it. That's possible too. Like, but the thing, like, if we look at the facts, like, they were able to do it with Xbox, JP and Xbox. But that's the only other merge. to be honest. Maybe they could merge easily on Xbox, but not on PS4. But at the same time, Terra did it just fine, so that's probably just an excuse. It's not real. So I don't know. Yours hasn't been finished? Like the JP Xbox one never happened? It's been 11 months since they announced it. Goddamn, that's a year. Call it a year. Stop with this 11 months. You'll save your fingers some anguish. But it is hard to say where it goes from there. Like, so last update, October, September? Wow, we're almost there again, yeah. So then you got to think, like, what does this mean for everybody else? So is this one of those things where people are going to look at Onigiri and be like, oh, it's shutting down in EU because they're not making enough money? Well, what if people just stop spending money and they shut down the North American one too? Then people will all stop spending money and then it'll happen. Like there's like a parable about this. Like there was a story where there was a tree that every day it would grow an apple, and if you pulled an apple off the tree, another apple would appear to replace it right away. And everyone took one apple a day from the tree, and it was normal. Until one day, someone's friend was late getting to the tree, and they wanted to make sure they got an apple before school, so they took 2 apples. So they saw the person with 2 apples, and everyone's like, oh my god, how come they took 2 apples? You're not supposed to take 2 apples. What the heck? Is the tree running out of fruit? What's going on? So then everyone plucked all the apples. They took all the apples, and like the tree eventually ran out of apples and it died. So the effect of that story is that if we look over to EU and we see that it's closing down, then some people might start to think to themselves, oh, Onigiri might be closing down over here. Well, I'm not going to invest any more into it. I'm going to save my money, ride the boat till it runs out of gas, and that's it. And if everyone thinks like that, then that will happen. And I'm not saying just, keep buying OC and live on as normal. I mean, you could, but I'm just saying it's an actuality. It's something that's going to happen whether I say it or not. Like if suddenly didn't they shut down the Taiwanese server at one point? I can't remember. That was a PC thing. Been years. I do think I agree with that. I thought, Hibari, that will be fine for a long time. Because our game flourishes, we get constant updates, and people spend constant money. Like there's a constant cash flow back and forth, going back and forth. Updates, content, every month now. Like we're solidly locked into content. Like they know to put the most of their resources on PC and North American PS4. Like that's their big 2 numbers. We keep them afloat. So then I think they tried to expand and they didn't see that response. And that's honestly because they started without getting Miyamoto. And I made sure to tell people that you're starting with a unit that doesn't have Miyamoto. You're starting in a unit with like Miyamoto, Sasuke, and Himiko in one unit, and it's going to be fucked. Like I straight up told everyone that. Like when those servers came out. Same thing with Switch. Like I don't know how the Switch is going at all. I haven't checked in on that at all. I had one person message me from the Switch, and he was saying what I said earlier about like, man, I wish I knew I could get all this stuff, but I can't do Zunko pass hell because I don't have 105s, I don't have Fuse, and I don't have the time to farm them, and this event's just wasted to me. And to me, that's the biggest perspective on an issue of it. When a game just like throws itself on you before you have a chance to be attached to it, you just say, well, who the hell are you? Get out of here. Stop reaching for my wallet. I don't even know you. But I do agree that if they were to shut down more, we would be the final bastion. But I can't see anything like that happening unless I think more laws were to come to the States regarding gacha games and loot box mechanics to more of an extent. But North America is way more like positive towards laissez-faire capitalism than they are in EU. So chances are that won't come to pass. There'll be too much lobbying and it'll never come forth. Because, you know, everyone has the free will to do what they want, and casinos exist, so whatever. But I do agree with you on that point. So any other comments, questions, concerns? You know, above all, our hearts go out to the EU players that are going to potentially not be EU players anymore. You know, their server shut down. I can't soften my words about it, you know. Like, it's a sad thing. We'd all be devastated if it was us. Absolutely. You know, we don't want that to happen. And it's a shame that it is. I mean, worst thing we had to suffer was like 11 months without Blitz. But we kept getting updates everywhere else. We're all just like, where's Blitz? And then Blitz comes and we do them for a month. It's like, okay, that was cool. Like, that was fun. So what if the petition gets 100 people? Well, I don't know. I don't know. When you ask me that, I'm imagining if I was Cyberstep, right? So if I was Cyberstep and I got a petition saying, hey, 100 people said don't close down the server. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna keep my game open for 100 people. And of these 100 people, all of them are gonna pay me like $50 a month. So that's like $5,000 a month. In terms of like game economy, I don't think that's enough to keep it up. 5,000 a month, like bare minimum, bare bones minimum. You know, they wouldn't keep the server up for that. However, if he thought to himself, oh, you want us to merge it, so you're going to add 100 players who are heavily invested and want to keep playing, put them into the other place where everyone already pays money and stuff and plays it and there's high engagement, and it's just going to increase my revenue, that's more potential. There's more potential for that happening than them keeping up EU server as a whole. Hopefully they can do the merge, because if a merge does happen, then it's the best situation. It really is, because if they can just keep the players, keep people happy and enjoy it, like that's, you know, that's the main goal. And let's say that can't happen, right? So let's go into this other eventuality. Let's say that can't happen. Let's say that there's going to be no merge, EU server goes down as normal. Then you have, let's say, 200 people or more that are marined and they want to keep playing, but if they go to but let's say they want to keep playing, they would have to restart from scratch. And for people that spent money, that means they have to spend that money again, if not more, if not less. They're going to be like, I don't think I want to do that. No, I'm going to go buy an $80 game and enjoy it for a month at a time. Like, or they'll go to Black Desert that's coming to PS4, or they'll go to Final Fantasy, or they'll go to League of Maidens, or they'll go to any other thing that exists in the world. But Botch brings up a point. Am I prepared for us to have this update for months? I'm always prepared for us to have this update for months. Like, if they do give us, if they do, they better give us Xbox and PS4 updates beforehand. So, I think that's the trade-off. That won't happen. They will marine you into our current update state, and you will miss out on a bunch of things. And that will be the small price to pay for salvation, to quote the Avengers. You know, it's one of those things where it's either one or the other or nothing. You know, it's either, in this case, it's either you get merged or you come to PS4 and you just log into your character and all this content's now available for you. And the opposite, what you're suggesting is, okay, we're going to make sure that we update a server that we're going to shut down indefinitely. A server that's going to be shut down in September, we're going to make sure that they get 2 years worth of updates before the merge in the span of 2 months? That's not feasible. That's not possible. You couldn't put an update a day, let alone the cost of doing an update, let alone the cost of patching. They're not gonna. It's like the shed. They're tearing down the house. It doesn't matter if you paint the walls red. It doesn't matter. Why are you gonna do that? They I can't see it being a feasible option. If any option at all is to be made, and if there is to be a merge where EU players come to PS4 and keep all their progress and everything they have, because there's no reason it won't be supported, then they would just come at that point and progress as normal. Well, potentially. To be honest, their best move... So let's say it does happen. Let's say that there is a merge, and EU comes over here, and a bunch of people come over to get integrated and just continue life as normal. The best move they could make is to have Gala again. The best move they could make is have 2 months of Gala. Because if we had 2 months of Gala, that gives players time to farm Blitz Tiamat 5 runs a day. That gives people time to get all the drops from Gala. They get a free Vanguard. Give everybody a free Vanguard. You know, do that. To make it a big celebration. Get people free stuff. Get people the chance to farm the most generous event known to man. Bring back Yogg, and that would be it. Exactly. It you know, it is what it is. Like, we've gone 4 months with Yogg. Like, Yogg 2. Like, whatever. You know. I just hope we get a Halloween update, because we haven't had one since the first one. Like, we have all these skills. Hey, get this black cat skill. It's like, I can't. It doesn't exist. But I think if that were to be the case, if the merge did succeed and they were to come here, the smartest thing Cyberstep could do was reinstigate Gala, let people farm that if they so choose. Everyone gets access to a bunch of stuff, horseshoes, drops for Tempest, etc., etc., or the option to just do anything else they want to do, play the story for God's sakes, whatever. You know, just give us an update where that's gonna, like, I'd be fine having no update for like 5 months if, like, you know, and I'm just throwing out like random numbers, but like if there was something that was just infinitely farmable like Gala, or something rewarding like a bunch of login calendars and Gala, just a bunch of little things while the game exists, so we can just like, because there's that perspective of when there's an update, we do the update, but when there's no update, or an update that we're not really enjoying that much, like let's say the Gargoyle Girls update, we do the stuff we want to do. Like, they release Hades at the same time. If they just throw Hades out and give the new player, like, give veterans something to distract themselves with, Blitz and Hades, and just let everyone else just run Gala, no one will mind. No one will care. Throw out Yogg, Hades, and you throw out Yogg and Hades and Gala at the same time, and no one will be bored. Let it happen for 6 months. I don't care. Everyone will have fun. Everyone will be caught up to speed. People will get carried. People will get traded. Like, people will, like, that would literally just do the player base the best amount of time. And we can get divine incenses. Like, that's no secret. So they can do that too. So there'd be so much stuff for people to do that would make them get caught up without the game really advancing. And then let's say by Christmas they release Mikami, Oguchi Mikami, then that'd be sweet. And then from that point forward, then it would be Mikami, and then it would be Yogg with the Rain Mags, and so on and so forth. But that's a good point. I forgot you're playing Xbox. So then that's the counterpoint. So that can't happen. Xbox and PS4 can't merge with each other. That can't happen. But if EU Xbox and EU and US Xbox merged, then that would be a regressive merge, I believe. I believe EU has more content than Xbox on US. So by that standard, they would be coming. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work for those players until they update the US PS4 or the US Xbox. So if the US Xbox One got updated, oh wow, I actually said Xbox One. The US has more, or the anyway. What if JP PS4 merged with us? I'd be done. I'd be fine. Whatever. Let's do it. I mean, we'd miss out on stuff though. It's a bit different though, because we're not exactly in the same pickle. Ah. Oh, aren't they still at Setsuban? I think they're stuck at Setsuban. Yeah, like in that case, they would have maybe they're like 3D chess, 4D chessing, and they knew that EU is failing, and they're what if they like give Xbox US all of the updates it needs to sustain EU, and then they bring over all the EUans and the Europeans, whatever, and then they bring over the PS4 ones. That could work. That'd be the only way it would really work. I think. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I agree what you're saying, although it may be a bit nitpicky. At the end of the day, it's either you get another server to play on and you miss out on a couple things, or your server gets deleted and you have nothing. I think we're only going to get Summer Part 2. We're going to get Dark Fin Part 1, like the Summer Dark Fin, but we're not going to get Hades or Elios unless they want to add it in for fun. But like, I don't think a perfect solution is going to come out of it. And at the end of the day, it's a life or death situation. Either it happens or they die. That's it. Either a merge happens or it ends. And in that case, either players come to the NA server or the PC server and they start anew. If no merge happens. I would love to hear Cybercep's talk of a merge though. Their thoughts on it. Like, I would just love to hear their reasoning for if it didn't happen or if it did happen, etc. I think that would be in everyone's best interest, just some transparency on the issue. Because from what I can tell, it's just they only mention financial sustainability of the server. Like closing up shop. Can't make money here. Surprise update. Hey Neville. Neville. Oh. But alright guys, I think this was really productive. Again, sad to hear that this is happening to EU, but I think we're gonna have to call it here. 45 minutes, 50 minutes of good discussion about it. Hopefully we get some people to watch it, share this video, share the link, share the petition, all that stuff, let everyone figure things out, catch up to speed, see what happens. Like if that petition gets signatures and all that stuff, and something comes of it, then fantastic. Anything to help out our fellow players, across the world. But I think that's going to do it for me, guys. So, like I said, share the video, comment on it, send an inquiry to like Onigiri on Facebook, like message them, ask them about it. Couldn't hurt, Can we do a party in Kusatsu? I'm not sure, Anju. It would have to be like a special occasion. If we get a EU merge, we'll have a party in Kusatsu. If we get a merge, we'll have a party. It's hard to throw parties and stuff when my work is very random and sporadic, because my work schedule is not guaranteed. But if we get this merge, we'll have a party. We're damn well will have a party, for sure. Doesn't mean never. It means if you want a party, we'll have a pizza party. Share the petition and sign it. That way, even if you don't want the EU people to come here, we'll have a party. So, bonus. And if EU comes here, I'll hit 132. Like, we'll do it. We'll have fun. With a party. But alright, guys. That's going to do it there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming out. We had like a high 26, 28 people here. Sorry I haven't been making too many videos on Onigiri lately. I know I'm a bit late making this video too, but I'm glad I made it. Glad you guys were in the comments to, especially Rhyme and Botch, keep things going. Let me know some information and all that stuff. And mostly the reason why I haven't been doing too many streams is because I've been playing Fire Emblem, and that came out. And it's been a lot of time. Your request will come right after. So, if you guys do want to stay tuned, I will be doing a Vanguard building video, Vanguard guide video, where we're going to find out some information. Not information. We're going to have a hands-on building session of Inu Chio Broken Seal. We're going to find out which weapon is best, and we're going to see how to build her, for sure. So that'll be coming up in about 5-10 minutes. Stay tuned, and I'll see you guys then. And I can, if you message me on Discord, I can reply with the petition. I don't know people's names on Discord.